Parsons family on sailing vessel Life Jacket.
Hey, I'm Riley.
I'm Nancy Claire, and I'm Tris.
Life Jacket is a 46-foot catamaran. A catamaran means that it's got two hulls that are connected in the center. She's 46 feet long and the mast is 75 feet high. Don't ask me how we know, because we had to climb it recently. One of the best things about a catamaran is that here on the back of the boat we have all this living space. And then the space in between the two hulls is what we call the salon. This is where we eat, where we hang out, and then there's the galley where we cook our meals. On each side there are 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. Let's go check it out. Here in the back of the boat
It's my room. I have lots of storage. My bathroom is in there.
each room has its own bathroom and bed
Hi,
space.
this is my room. I've collected a lot of art to decorate my room.
Mr. Parsons and I started taking sailing lessons about 9 years ago, and we started on a small little sailboat on Lake Lanier and then took some classes and ended up going down to the British Virgin Islands, and this dream just slowly became a reality. So we decided we love exploring new places and trying new foods and experiencing new cultures, and we wanted our family to have some time together to do that while we're all still living together. So that's kind of how this dream developed into a reality.
We left June 3rd from Savannah, Georgia, and spent a month crossing the ocean, stopping in Bermuda, in the Azores, and finally Lisbon. We then entered the Mediterranean from Gibraltar. After spending 3 weeks in Portugal, we left Gibraltar to spend a month in Spain, a month in France, and we are now in Italy off the coast of Rome. We don't always stay on the coast. We took trains into Seville and Granada in Spain, Paris in France, and Florence, Venice, and Rome in Italy. Whenever we are not touring a big city, it's always a big school day. But once we're done with school and have some spare time, we do puzzles, read, play games, nap, and do all that stuff. Then, when we are anchoring, we can jump off the boat and play in the water and play on a paddleboard.
Hi, I'm Rustin. I'm Riley, Nancy Claire, and Tripp's dad. And up here is the helm. This is where we steer the boat and just handle the boat and navigate. One of the exciting things we got to do as we were traveling around the Med was see where a lot of the European explorers like Columbus and Vasco da Gama left from and where they lived. And there's a lot of statues and ornaments and monuments to the different explorers. Luckily, with new technology, I don't have to depend as much on the techniques that those explorers used to travel the oceans. One of the things they used were astrolabes, which were, they'd point them at the moon or a planet and figure out where they were on the globe, or they would use a sextant like this. I actually have one, and I have a whole book of reduction tables where I can sight the moon or the North Star and figure out where we are. The good news is that I only need to do that if we completely lose power and lose all of our technology here on the boat. So we have a chart plotter, and we've actually installed radar so we can see other boats, and we have a thing called AIS, which will show us where other boats are and their names and where they're headed. And then we just have a lot of other instruments to help us sail, and since it's so easy to sail, I just get to sit here and eat pudding. Yum, yum. Another thing that is a lot easier now than during the explorers' days is actually communication. We have a VHF radio, which gives us about a 12-mile range that we can communicate with other boats or the marinas. A variety of different, whoever has a radio. When we're at sea, the longest passage we've made so far was between Bermuda and the Azores. We were at sea for 12 days, and we were able to use this inReach, which is a satellite device that allows us to use satellites to communicate back home. So we were communicating with our parents and our friends, and we'll also be going back across to the Caribbean. In December, we'll have a satellite phone with us where we can actually talk to people using voice and actually download weather. One of the things that we know with all the satellites going around the world is what the weather patterns are and what weather looks like with pretty good accuracy out to about 5 days. So unlike Columbus, who had no idea what weather was coming, we can actually get a pretty good idea of what weather we're going to face. And that's one of the reasons we're in this marina now, is the Rome area is experiencing a wind event where we're getting 45 to 50 knot winds, which is about 50 miles an hour, so 50 to 55 miles an hour. So we're just staying in the marina and waiting for the wind to die down so we can head south.
There are many responsibilities on this boat. My responsibility is the dinghy captain. The dinghy is a small boat that allows us to get from the boat to the shore. This is the dinghy. Since we're in a marina, it is raised up on these davits. Another part of my job is to raise and lower the dinghy.
Whenever we are not in a marina, we anchor. And this is the big heavy anchor, and this is the machine called the windlass that makes it go down without slipping. This is the remote that controls it to go down and up. My dad has to tell me the right amount of chain to put down so we don't drag. One of my responsibilities is to help with docking, because here in the Mediterranean it is really difficult because you have to back in and we have boats on either side. So my job is to make sure there's fenders out so we don't hit boats.
People have asked us what are some of the differences about living on a boat. Well, the first thing is, although it sounds obvious, everything moves. We have to secure everything so it doesn't fall over. Your drinks, your dinner plate, even when I'm cooking, we have to secure the pots and pans so they don't slosh or fall off while we're underway.
Another thing that you have to get used to is sleeping on a boat, because the engine is right there and the waves are crashing up on your hull.
Living on a boat takes some getting used to. Sometimes it makes you feel very claustrophobic, especially when you have two siblings.
So we hope you've enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about a day in life on Life Jacket.
Send more pudding.